Welcome to episode 12 of Echo Without Noise. Words cut deeper than swords, but so does kindness. Words that scratch hearts, a personal reflection on speaking gently. There's a saying that stayed with me: words scratch more hearts than swords. At first, I thought it was just poetic language, a metaphor, until I lived it. One afternoon, I let my anger speak before my soul could catch up. It wasn't a scream. It wasn't dramatic. But my tone was cutting. My words, careless. And the person I hurt? Someone I loved. I apologized, of course. Sincerely. I even offered all the right explanations: stress, fatigue, feeling unheard. But none of that erased the sting of what I said. The impact had landed. And words, unlike objects, can't be retrieved once thrown. Since then, I've made a promise to myself. Not a perfect one, but a persistent one. To pause. To breathe. To ask myself before speaking, am I trying to be understood, or am I trying to win? Anger isn't the enemy. But unfiltered anger often becomes a weapon we didn't mean to wield. It cuts deeper than we intended. And the scars? They linger. I started meditating, not perfectly, not every day. But I built moments into my week where I sat alone, not to escape but to listen. To the parts of me that felt unseen, that whispered pain quietly. Because I realized something powerful: when we lash out, we're not just reacting to someone else. We're reacting to an unmet need inside ourselves. That changed how I speak. Not just to others, but to myself. In the past, if I failed, I'd scold myself, internally, harshly. You're too sensitive. You'll never change. You always mess things up. Now, I try something different. I ask, what are you afraid of right now? And I answer with compassion. Because healing begins with understanding. It's easy to feel ashamed after we speak out of anger. But shame doesn't build bridges. It burns them. What builds is accountability, without cruelty. And the decision to keep trying, again and again. So now, when I feel frustration building, I do something simple. I put my hand on my heart. I ask myself, will these words grow the relationship, or will they shrink it? If the answer is shrink, I wait. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I still slip. But I've stopped expecting perfection. I now aim for presence. If you've hurt someone with your words, or been hurt yourself, I want you to know, you're not alone. You're human. You're healing. Words carry power. But so does silence. So does reflection. So does choosing again. Here's what I've learned: speak gently when you can. And when you can't, when anger wins, return with compassion. Apologize. Not just with words, but with consistent action. Reflect. Not to shame yourself, but to understand yourself. Try again. Because every time you choose mindfulness over reaction, you rewrite your story. Growth isn't glamorous. It's messy. But it's possible. So if today feels heavy, if your words feel jagged, pause. Put your hand on your heart. Choose a different sentence. Or choose quiet. Because success isn't being perfect with our words. It's choosing to get better at using them to heal, not harm. And when we do that, even the relationships we once scratched might start to mend. So speak gently. Not just for others, but for yourself. You deserve that kindness too.